Your skin is always trying to tell you something, long before a breakout appears, long before the redness shows, long before the dryness becomes impossible to ignore. Your skin whispers warnings. It reacts to your choices, your lifestyle, your emotions, your routines, even the things you don't pay attention to. But most people never listen. They mistreat the symptoms and miss the signals. They try to fix what they can see instead of understanding what the skin is trying to say. For years, I did the same. I chased treatments, swapped products, panicked at every new bump, and wondered why nothing changed. Only when I slowed down and learned to read the quiet language of my own skin did I finally understand what it had been asking from me. And once I started listening, everything shifted, not suddenly, but steadily, in tiny improvements that felt like my skin finally trusted me again. Today, I want to show you how to read those signals, the ones your skin has been giving you for years, because your skin is not complicated, it's communicative. You just need to learn its voice. Step 1. Tightness is not dryness. It's a warning. One of the earliest signals your skin sends is tightness, that uncomfortable pulling sensation after cleansing or stepping out of the shower. Most people assume this means they have dry skin, but tightness is actually something different. It's your skin telling you its protective layer has been disturbed. It's reacting to harsh cleansers, hot water, overwashing, or friction. It's saying, "You removed too much." I used to ignore this signal and smother my face with heavy creams, believing moisture alone could solve it. But tight skin doesn't need weight. It needs gentleness. The moment I switched to softer cleansing, cooler water, and minimal rubbing, that tightness faded on its own. The difference was subtle at first, but it was the beginning of my skin learning to trust my touch again. Your skin tightens when its barrier feels unsafe. Reading this signal helps you prevent damage instead of repairing it later. Step 2. Redness isn't sensitivity, it's stress. We think redness means sensitive skin, but most redness is simply your skin reacting to overwhelm. It's the skin's version of raising its voice. Maybe you layered too many active ingredients. Maybe you exfoliated too aggressively. Maybe your environment is too dry. Maybe your stress levels are high. Redness is the skin saying, "Slow down." When I began paying attention to my redness, where it formed, when it appeared, what triggered it, I realized it had a pattern. Around the nose when I used harsh cleansers, on the cheeks after stressful days, along the jawline when my sleep suffered. Redness wasn't random, it was a map. And once I learned to track that map, my routine became intentional instead of reactionary. Your skin doesn't blush for no reason. Redness is communication, the earliest sign that something needs to be softened, reduced, or adjusted. Step 3. Texture isn't imperfection, it's memory. Texture appears quietly. It doesn't shout the way redness does, and it doesn't draw attention like a breakout. It shows up as small, almost invisible warnings. A rough patch near your temples, tiny bumps across your forehead, a slightly uneven area under your chin. Most people rush to scrub it away, believing texture is dirt, carelessness, or something they failed to prevent. But texture is neither mistake nor flaw. It is your skin remembering everything it has been through recently. When my own texture began appearing in identical places again and again, I realized it wasn't random. It showed up after stressful days when my sleep was poor. It appeared when I wasn't drinking enough water. It returned when my skincare became too harsh or when I layered too much without giving my skin space to breathe. Texture became a signal, almost like my skin tapping me on the shoulder saying, "Something is building up. Fix it before it turns into something bigger." The moment I stopped attacking texture with aggressive exfoliation and instead approached it with curiosity, my skin softened. I learned that hydration often smooths texture faster than scrubbing. I learned that calming ingredients heal micro-irritation quietly. And I learned that texture was my skin's memory, a reminder of the past few days. When you treat texture with understanding instead of urgency, your skin stops fighting and starts aligning itself with you. That's when clarity follows. Step 4. Darkening spots aren't stains. They're reactions. Dark spots feel like the skin's way of holding on to the past. They linger long after irritation fades, and they deepen when exposed to even a little sunlight. For years, I treated hyperpigmentation like stubborn stains that needed to be erased. I tried brightening serums, strong ingredients, multi-step treatments, but none of it worked until I understood the truth. Dark spots are your skin's protective response, not an enemy. Hyperpigmentation darkens when your skin feels threatened. If you pick at a breakout, your skin tries to defend the wound. If you expose it to heat or sun, it shields the damaged area with pigment. If inflammation stays for too long, your skin wraps it in melanin like a bandage. When I realized this, everything changed. Instead of trying to fade spots quickly, I focused on preventing the triggers behind them. I paid attention to how heat from cooking or long showers darkened certain areas. I noticed how stress made marks linger longer. I realized how skipping sunscreen even once could deepen a healed spot instantly. And I learned that soothing inflammation is the very first step in fading hyperpigmentation long before brightening treatments. Once you treat spots as reactions rather than flaws, you begin changing the behavior that creates them. And slowly, your skin stops collecting new marks. It stops replaying the same cycle. It begins healing with consistency instead of resistance. Step 5. Sudden oiliness isn't greasiness, it's SOS mode. Oiliness is one of the most misunderstood signals your skin sends. People see shine and immediately reach for drying toners, mattifying powders, or harsh cleansers. I used to do the same, convinced that oil meant uncleanliness or poor skincare. But the more I studied my skin, the more I understood the truth. Oil isn't misbehavior, it's protection. Your skin produces oil when it feels something is missing. When hydration is low, when your barrier is compromised, when you strip away natural moisture, or when your environment becomes dry, your skin responds with oil to build what you removed. It's survival mode, a protective coating created in urgency. The problem isn't the oil, the problem is why your skin felt the need to create so much of it. When I began observing my own oiliness more carefully, patterns appeared. My T-zone became shiny on days when I barely drank water. My cheeks became oily whenever I over-cleansed. My jawline produced more oil on nights when I slept poorly. And whenever I used too many active ingredients, my entire face responded with a glossy layer as if trying to protect itself from me. The moment I started hydrating correctly, everything changed. Lighter moisturizers worked better than heavy ones. Humectants like hyaluronic acid calmed the shine. A hydrated barrier slowed the urgency. My pores felt less clogged because my skin wasn't overcompensating anymore. Excess oil isn't your skin failing. It's your skin asking for help. And when you answer that request with hydration instead of punishment, your skin rewards you with balance. Your skin is not unpredictable. It is not mysterious. It is not difficult. It is responsive. Every change, every bump, every shine, every dry patch, every moment of redness is a message. And once you start reading those messages, you stop fighting your skin and start helping it. For years, I treated my face like a battlefield. Now I treat it like a conversation. And that shift changed everything. Not because I used more products, but because I finally understood what my skin was trying to tell me.